Okay, so we'll start with the Bhagavad Gita shloka. Let me share my screen. Mutmanikam Prabhuji, I'm making you a co-host so that you can share the book
The book.
later
Okay.
after this. Okay. So Bhagavad Gita, what shloka have we finished yesterday? Anyone? Which
Yesterday,
shloka?
15th sloka I read this.
15 number sloka.
15 shloka, right? Haribol. So what was covered in the 15 shloka?
A bloom
पाञ्चजन्यं
of the
कृषिकेषु देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः पौण्ड्रं तदामौ महासङ्गं भीमाकर्म virgodharah.
Haribol.
Whatever the council they are having, like Krishna, Arjuna and Bhima, they started making war sound by using council. And what are
Haribol.
the different
Very nice,
names of
Mutmanikam Prabhuji.
Krishna given, and the Arjuna names, why the name called Dhananjaya, and the explanation given in the purport.
Yes, correct. So yeah, Pushpa Mataji was saying something.
the names of the consul was also mentioned in the sloka, like Lord Krishna has Panchajanya, Arjuna, Devdatta, and Bhima Brakrodara, their consul name.
Bhima's Poundra. Yeah, Bhima's
Founder.
Poundra.
Hmm.
Yeah, Haribol. Very nice. Correct. Exactly. That is what was covered. And what is the meaning of Rishikesha in this verse?
Master of all the senses.
Yeah. He controls all the senses, right? Senses of all living entities are also part and parcel of his senses. Right? So that is what was covered in this. And the different names of Lord Shri Krishna and what does it mean? And in different contexts, what will be relevant, right? That was also kind of explained. And why is Arjuna called Dhananjaya is also explained, right? So all that Vrikodara, why is Bhima called Vrikodara? The logic
Parasya Seta.
behind, yeah, voracious eater, yes, Haribol. So all of that was clearly explained in this shloka, right? So it's such a beautiful shloka. So, and also it was concluded by saying, the Pandavas had so much of blessing just because they had Krishna on their side. See how transcendental their side has become. But on the other side, there was nothing of this sort. Neither the presence of Krishna nor the goddess of fortune. So then victory and fortune is always in the side of the Pandavas, right? So that is what was clearly communicated in this shloka. That was the message which got announced by the sounds of these conch shells, right? That's what came through these verses. So today we'll see shloka 16 to 18. Okay, we're going to see three shlokas today, so we'll go a little fast. So they're going to talk about the other conch shells born by the other people and what was happening, right? So that all that is going to cover in these three shlokas. We'll read that. Shloka 16 is Ananta Vijayam Raja Kuntiputro Yudhishthiraha Nakulas Sahadevascha Sugausho Mani Pushpakau. Then Shloka 17 Kashyascha Parameshvasah Shikandi cha Maharatah Drishtadyumno Viratascha Satyakis cha Parajitah. And then Shloka 18 says, Drupado Draupadeyascha Sarvasah Prithvipate Saubhadrascha Mahabahu Shankan Dadmuha Pritak Pritak. Right, so these were the three shlokas. Let's look at the meaning of these three shlokas. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell. Now we saw the conch shells blown by Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima in the last shloka. Now in the next three shlokas, we are seeing the names of the conch shell blown by the other Pandavas, like Yudhishthira blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya. Then Nakula and Sahadeva blew their conch shells called Sugosha. Sugosha is the conch shell of Nakula. Mani Pushpaka is the conch shell of Sahadeva. Okay, and then they're saying that great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter, Shikandi, Then Drishtadyumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra. Who's the son of Subhadra?
Abhimanyu.
Anyone knows? Abhimanyu,
Abhimanyu.
yes, Haribol. Right, so all these people blew their respective conches. Right, so that is what is beautifully summarized in these three shlokas. So in the previous shloka, they're giving importance to the conch shell blown by Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima. Now, in this verse, they're telling who are the other people who blew the conches. They're not giving the names of all the conches, but they're telling primarily the Pandavas, like Yudhishthira blew Ananta Vijaya. Then for Nakula, it is Sugosha. For Sahadeva, it's Manipushpaka. Right? Those they're saying, and who are all the other people who, on their side, on the side of Pandavas, who blew their conches. That is clearly described in these three shlokas. Okay. Let's look at the purport as well. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sanjaya informed King Dhritarashtra very tactfully that his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his own sons on the seat of the kingdom was not very laudable. The signs already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in that great battle. Beginning with the grandsire Bhishma down to the grandsons like Abhimanyu and others, including kings from many states of the world, all were present there and all were doomed. The whole catastrophe was due to King Dhritarashtra because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons. Right? So, beautifully, the meaning is though the shloka talks about the conch shells, the background behind that, what is that Sanjay is trying to convey, Dhritarashtra, is beautifully explained in this puppet, right? Such a beautiful puppet this is. So it's a these are all very simple shlokas. If you just remember the names of people and the conch shells blown, it's very easy to memorize. Like Ananta Vijayam Raja. Raja means Yudhishthira, his conch shell is Ananta Vijayam. Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha, right? That is said. Then Nakula Sahadevascha Sugosha Mani Pushpakau. So for Nakula it's Sugosha and Sahadeva it's Mani Pushpakau. Then who are all the other people? That is also explained like Kashya, Shikandi, Drishtyadumna, right? Drupada, Draupadi, the sons of Draupadi, everything. So it's a pretty simple one. So please go through, revise this as many times possible. Try to memorize these shlokas by understanding the meaning. Right? Very simple shlokas. Please go through and come before the class tomorrow. Okay, we're concluding with shloka 18 today. We'll see shloka 19 tomorrow.
Mataji,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, in this sloka,
Hmm.
Drupada is mentioned, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Drupada is in the side of Kaurava, right? Because in shloka 4, there they were talking about Drupada and Kaurava, right?
No, Drupada has always been on the side of Pandavas, Mataji.
Okay.
Mataji,
Drupada is,
Drupada is the father of Drishtadyumna and Panchali. How he will be in other side?
yeah,
Mama. Yes.
he is
Pandavas
on the
Mama.
side of Pandavas. The other people, the Virata, the other kings and all went on the side of Duryodhana.
So in shloka 4, they were
Right?
describing.
So,
Only there will be a conflict, Mataji. Salian, you know, Salian.
Chalyan went.
Karna's Sarthi. He is from Pandava side and he went to assist
Yeah,
Gaurav.
I understood. So, Mataji, you're referring to this shloka?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so here we are saying, and here she is talking about, here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna, great fighters like Yudhana, Virata, and Drupada.
That they are describing about Pandava's army.
Yes, correct, Mataji. Pandava's side.
Yeah, this is Pandava
Opposite
side.
Mataji, there is a conflict. Dhruva and Dronacharya are their friend, Langutiyar friend. When they are child,
Correct.
they grown
Correct.
up. And that what happened, they due to the misunderstanding, they had to make it take revenge. That is the main point. Dronacharya and Drupada.
Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Mataji and
Ah,
Prabhuji.
So they
no
were all
problem.
in the side of Pandavas only, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Correct.
Krishna. Very nice.
Hare.
Okay. So we please go through and come. We will move to our book reading now.
Mataji,
Yeah.
I will share.
Yes, Prabhuji. Go ahead, Prabhuji. So we are in the book Science of Self-Realization, chapter 4, right? What is the name of chapter 4? Hare Krishna, anyone? Anyone remembers the name of chapter 4, which we started yesterday, which we read, almost completed?
Understanding Krishna in Christ, chapter
What is the
4.
name of chapter 4?
Ah,
Yeah,
Understanding
Hari Bol.
Krishna in Christ.
Yes, Hari Bol Pushpa Mataji. Understanding Krishna and Christ. Right, that was the chapter. So, what is the primary topic of discussion in this particular chapter? What has been discussed so far?
Similarities between the Christianity and Hindu religion. In in both way, like priest chants on rosary bead and Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada chanting on a bead, tulsi bead. So he was telling about this is the similarity. Like we chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he also tell about the bhakti yoga, loving service to God. And he tell you that we are not stuck to the designation like Hindu, Muslim, Christian. We simply believe in the loving service of the God, and
Yes.
we don't kill animals or for our pleasure.
Hmm. Right, Haribol. Beautifully said, Mataji. So the word Christ, how it emerged, right? That also came from Krishna. Krishna changed to Krishna, and that became Christ, right? So that also he explains, and how Lord Jesus Christ also is saying the Father, right? So he is referring to Lord Krishna only there. That is also coming in the chapter, and is constantly referring to the thing that if everybody is obeying the words of Jesus Christ, then Jesus Christ has only said this word, "Thou shall not kill." Right? So how will it be right for someone to kill animals and consume meat? Right? So that was the main discussion point or argument in this entire chapter so far. Yeah. Anything else anyone wants to add? What are the points you remember?
and father asking so many questions, and they
Hmm.
are comparing with animal killing and this vegetational killing also, and anything that is giving to Krishna first, and
Hmm.
then we eat the remnants, and that will not that will not come into the killing, like that Prabhupada explained.
Hmm.
And this, what we are going to further chapter, thou shalt not kill, that will clearly explain the whatever the topic. That topic only they are discussing the first two topics, thou
Yeah.
shalt, that one.
Yeah. This topic I think we finished, right, Prabhuji? Thou shall not kill.
No,
I
no, no,
think
no, no, no. This topic, what you told, it will take another 20 minutes. So tomorrow we will see like that. So salt.
that is the next topic, Prabhuji. This we finished, I
No,
think.
no, no,
That's
no. This is not finished.
Mother, last topic was the Jesus Christ was a guru, in which Srila Prabhupada compared the qualities of like titikshava, tolerance and karuna, compassion
yeah.
for the others. Jesus Christ got crucified, and he tell the quality of Vaishnava that Vaishnava is unhappy to this seeing the suffering of others.
Correct, correct, correct.
This topic is not finished.
Yes, yes, yes.
So,
You're right, Prabhuji. You're right. I got
yes.
confused with the previous heading.
Because last Mataji, teacher
Yeah, you're right, Prabhuji. So the
Mataji.
previous heading, I thought.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
this topic
Christ.
is coming under the two topics earlier
Yeah,
discussed.
yeah. I got confused with the same previous topic. Okay. Christ, Christians, and Krishna. We finished that. We stopped there, and this one we had to start. Right? Thou shall not kill. Yeah. Thank you so much, Pushpa Mataji. You're right. That is also a very valid point. Something important which we read yesterday. Very nice. So this was a very interesting chapter. Lots of things we got to know about Christianity and similarities and all of that. So we will continue and today we will complete this chapter. So we'll start from this
Hare
section.
Krishna Mataji. Someone is waiting.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
I
Yes, Mataji.
will send out link Mataji now. Someone is waiting, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I got it, Mataji. Thank you, Bhaglakshmi Mataji.
Oh, okay. In the group, Mataji, where I didn't understand. Okay. Oh, I didn't check WhatsApp. Okay. Fine. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Very nice. So, okay, so we will begin from this verse, thou shall not kill. Okay. So, yeah, we can start from here. Ekambar Prabhuji, are you fine to read today? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Ekambar Prabhuji. Would you like to read today? Can't hear you, Prabhuji. Is it my issue or others? Are you able to hear?
No,
That your
Mataji.
voice we are hearing.
Yeah. Ekambar Prabhuji, not able to hear, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then I think somebody else can start. Okay. Ekambar Prabhuji, not able to hear you, Prabhuji. You might have to reconnect. Can't hear you, Prabhuji. Okay. So today we will start. Bhagyalakshmi Mataji, you want to start?
Yeah, Mataji.
Okay. So Bhagyalakshmi Mataji, you can start. Two people will have to read today also. So Bhagyalakshmi Mataji and Dattatreya Prabhuji, would you like to read? Hare Krishna.
Yes, madam. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so Bhagyalakshmi Mataji, you can read that cardinal role, and
Yes.
Dattatreya Prabhuji, you can read Srila Prabhupada's thing. Okay, so you can
Okay.
start, Prabhuji. Dattatreya Prabhuji, you can start. Hare Krishna.
Thou shalt not kill. As ISKCON's Paris Center, Srila Prabhupada talks with Cardinal Jean Denioli. The Bible does not simply say, do not kill the human being. It says broadly, thou shalt not kill. Why do you interpret this to suit your own convenience? When there is no food, someone may eat meat in order to keep from starving. That is another thing, but it is most sinful to regularly maintain a slaughterhouse just to satisfy your tongue. Srila Prabhupada. Jesus Christ said, thou shalt not kill. So why is it that Christian people are engaged in animal killing?
Cardinal Daniel. Danielona Mataji. Daniel. That's name.
Correct,
Yes,
Mataji.
Cardinal Danielo. Yeah, you need not tell the name, Mataji. Directly read the content.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. ధన్యవాదాలు. Certainly in Christianity it is forbidden to kill, but we believe that there is a difference between the life of a human being and the life of the beasts. The life of a human being is sacred because man is made in the image of God. Therefore, to kill a human being is forbidden.
But the Bible does not simply say, do not kill the human being. It says broadly, thou shalt not kill.
We believe that only human life is sacred.
That is your interpretation. The commandment is thou shalt not kill.
It is necessary for man to kill animals in order to have food to eat.
No. Man can eat grains, vegetables, fruits, and milk.
No flesh.
No. Human beings are meant to eat vegetarian food. The tiger does not come to eat your fruits. His prescribed food is animal flesh, but man's food is vegetables, fruits, grains, and milk products. So, how can you say that animal killing is not a sin?
We believe it is a question of motivation. If the killing of an animal is for giving food to the hungry, when it is justified.
But consider the cow. We drink her milk. Therefore, she is our mother. Do you agree?
Yes, surely.
Understanding Krishna and Christ. Srila Prabhupada. So, if the cow is your mother, how can you support killing her? You take the milk from her, and when she is old and can't give your milk, you cut her throat. Is that very humane proposal? In India, those who are meat eaters are advised to kill some lower animals like goats, pigs, or even buffalo. But cow killing is the greatest sin. In preaching Krishna consciousness, he asks people not to eat any kind of meat, and my disciples strictly follow the principle. But if under certain circumstances others are obliged to eat meat, then should not eat the flesh of some lower animal. Do not kill cows. It is the greatest sin. And as long as a man is sinful, he cannot understand God. The human being's main business is to understand God and to love Him. But if he remains sinful, he will never be able to understand God. What to speak of loving Him?
Mataji, you have to read Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji. I think that perhaps this is not an essential point. That important thing is to love God. The prac-
Practical commandments.
practical commandment can vary from one religion to the next.
So,
Sorry.
in the Bible, God's practical commandment is that cannot kill. Therefore, killing cows is a sin for you.
God says to the Indians that killing is not good. He says to the Jews that
No, please. Tatrate, Prabhuji.
Atre Prabhuji, you'll have to read Prabhuji.
No,
Hare
no,
Krishna.
Jesus Christ thought, thou shalt not kill. Why do you interpret this is to suit your own convenience?
but Jesus allowed the sacrifice of the Praxal land,
Pachal lamp.
Vachalam. Yeah.
Parkel land,
Pachal lamp.
parcel land,
Lamb.
Lamp.
Lamb
Lamp.
Mataji.
But
lamb.
he never maintained a slaughterhouse.
Laugh. No, but he did eat meat.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
No, but he did not eat meat. When there is no other God,
Hare
someone may
Krishna.
eat meat.
Prabhuji, am I
In
audible?
order to keep
Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Okay. We will continue. So next, Hariprada Mataji and Pushpa Mataji, would you like to read Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah. Yeah. So Hariprada Mataji, you can read Srila Prabhupada, and Pushpa Mataji, you can read Cardinal Danielo.
Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
No,
there
but he
and
did eat
although
meat.
animal killing
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so
uh,
much, Prabhuji. Yeah, the next person has started. Hare Krishna.
When there is no other food, someone may eat meat in order to keep from starving. That is another thing. But it is most sinful to regularly maintain slaughterhouses just to satisfy your tongue. Actually, you will not even have a human society until this cruel practice of maintaining slaughterhouses is stopped. And although animal killing may sometimes be necessary for survival, at least the mother animal, the cow, should not be killed. That is simply human decency. In the Krishna consciousness movement, our practice is that we don't allow the killing of any animals. Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Vegetables, fruits, milk, and grains should be offered to me in devotion. Bhagavad Gita 9.26. We take only the remnants of Krishna's food, prasada. The trees offer us many varieties of fruits, but the trees are not killed. Of course, one living entity is the food for another living entity, but that does not mean you will kill your mother for food. Cows are innocent. They give us milk. You take their milk and then kill them in the slaughterhouses. This is sinful.
Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada. Christianity's sanction of meat eating is based on the view that lower species of life do not have a soul like the human beings.
Srila Prabhupada, this is foolishness. First of all, we have to understand the evidence of soul's presence within the body. Then we can see whether the human being has a soul and the cow does not. What are the different characteristics of a cow and a man and the man? If we find a difference in characteristics, then we say that in the animal there is no soul. But if we see that animal and human beings have the same characteristics, then how can you say that animal has no soul? The general symptom are that the animals eat, you eat, the animal sleeps, you sleep, the animal mates, you mate, the animal defends, and you defend. Where is the difference?
We admit that in the animal there may be the same type of biological existence as in human, but there is no soul. We believe that the soul is a human soul.
Our Bhagavad Gita says, Sarva Yonishu. In all species of life, the soul exists. The body is like a suit of clothes. You have black clothes. I am dressed in saffron clothes. But within the dress, you are a human being and I am also a human being. Similarly, the bodies of the different species are just like different types of dress. There are 84 lakh species or dresses, but within each one is a spirit soul, a part and parcel of God. Suppose a man has two sons, not equally meritorious. One may be a Supreme Court judge and the other may be common laborer, but the father claims both as his son. He does not make the distinction that the son who is the judge is very important and the worker son is not important. And if the judge's son says, My dear father, your other son is useless, let me cut him up and eat him, will the father allow this?
Certainly not. But the idea that the all life is part uh, that all life is part of the life of God is difficult for us to admit. There is a great difference between the human life and animal life.
The difference is due to the development of consciousness. In the human body, there is developed consciousness. Even a tree has a soul, but the tree's consciousness is not very developed. If you cut a tree, it does not resist. Actually, it does resist, but only to a very small degree. There is a scientist named Jagdish Chandra Bose who has made a machine which shows that trees and plants are able to feel pain when they are cut. And we can see directly that when someone comes to kill an animal, it resists, it cries, it makes a horrible sound. So it is a matter of development of consciousness. But the soul is there within all living beings.
But metaphysically, the life of a man is sacred. Human beings thinks on a higher platform than the animals do.
What is that higher platform? The animal eats to maintain his body, and you also eat in order to maintain your body. The cow eats grass in the field, and the human beings eat meat from a huge slaughterhouse full of modern machines. But just because you have big machines and a ghastly scene, while the animal simply eats grass, this does not mean that you are so advanced that only within your body is there a soul, and that there is not a soul within the body of animal. This is illogical. We can see that the basic characteristics are the same in animals and the human beings.
But only in human beings do we find a metaphysical search for the meaning of life.
Yes, so metaphysically, search out why you believe that there is no soul within the animal. That is metaphysics. If you are thinking metaphysically, that's all right. But if you are thinking like an animal, then what is the use of your metaphysical study? Metaphysical means above the physical, or in other words, spiritual. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva yonisu konteya. In every living being, there is a spirit soul. That is metaphysical understanding. Now, either you accept Krishna's teaching as metaphysical, or you will have to take a third class fool's opinion as metaphysical. Which do you accept?
But why does God create some animals who eat other animals? There is a fault in the creation, it seems.
It is not a fault. God is very kind. If you want to eat animals, then He will give you full facility. God will give you the body of a tiger in your next life so that you can eat flesh very freely. Why are you maintaining slaughterhouses? I will give you fangs and claws. Now eat. So the meat eaters are awaiting such punishment. The animal eaters become tigers, wolves, cats, and dogs in their next life to get more facility.
Haribol, chapter 4 close.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Bol. Beautiful. We have completed chapter 4. Very nice. Hari Bol to all of you. Thank you so much, Padma Mataji. Thank you so much, Pushpa Mataji, for concluding it. Very nice. So we've completed almost half of the book. We'll start fifth chapter also today. Okay, because we have 15 more minutes, so we'll do a little bit of fifth chapter as well. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. So chapter 5 is called Practicing Yoga in the Age of Quarrel. Right? It's a interesting title. So he's calling this as Age of Quarrel. In this, how do you practice yoga? Very nice. So we will start this chapter. So the first heading is super consciousness. So yeah, Padma Mataji, would you like to start? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Padma Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Am I audible?
Yes, now you are Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Super consciousness. The super soul being present within everyone, situated everywhere, is conscious of every existence. The theory that the soul and the super soul are one is not acceptable because the individual soul's consciousness cannot act in superconsciousness. This superconsciousness can only be achieved by dovetailing individual consciousness with the superconsciousness. And this dovetailing process is called surrender or Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the highest yoga performance by trained devotional yogis. The yoga system, as is stated in the standard yoga practice formula given by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita and as recommended in the Patanjali yoga discipline, is different from the nowadays practiced Hatha yoga, as is generally understood in the Western countries. Real yoga practice means to control the senses, and after such control is established, to concentrate the mind on the Narayana form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Shri Krishna. Lord Krishna is the original absolute personality, the Godhead, and all the other Vishnu forms with four hands decorated with conch, lotus, club, and wheel are plenary expansions of Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is recommended that we should meditate upon the form of the Lord. For practicing concentration of the mind, one has to sit down in a secluded place sanctified by a sacred atmosphere, and the yogi should observe the rules and regulations of brahmacharya to live a life of strict self-restraint and celibacy. No one can practice yoga in a congested city living a life of extravagance, including unrestricted sex indulgence and adultery of the tongue. We have already stated that yoga practice means controlling the senses, and the beginning of controlling the senses is to control the tongue. You cannot allow the tongue to take all kinds of forbidden food and drink, and at the same time improve in the practice of yoga. It is a very regrettable fact that many stray, unauthorized so called yogis now come to the West and exploit the leaning of the people toward yoga. Such unauthorized yogis even dare to say publicly that one can indulge in drinking and at the same time practice meditation. Practicing yoga in the age of quarrel. 5,000 years ago in the Bhagavad Gita dialogue, Lord Krishna recommended the yoga practice to his disciple Arjuna. But Arjuna flatly expressed his inability to follow the stringent rules and regulations of yoga. One should be practical in every field of activity. One should not waste his valuable time simply in practicing some gymnastic feats in the name of yoga. Real yoga is to search out the four-handed super soul within one's heart and to see him perpetually in meditation. Such continued meditation is called samadhi. If, however, one wants to meditate upon something void or impersonal, it will require a very long time to achieve anything by yoga practice. We cannot concentrate our mind on something void or impersonal. Real yoga practice is to fix the mind on the person of the four handed Narayana who dwells in everyone's heart. Sometimes it is said that by meditation, one will understand that God is seated within one's heart always, even when one does not know it. God is seated within the heart of everyone. Not only is He seated in the heart of the human being, but He is also within the hearts of the cats and dogs. The Bhagavad Gita certifies this with a declaration that Ishvara, the supreme controller of the world, is seated in the heart of everyone. He is present not only in everyone's heart, but also within the atoms. No place is vacant, no place is without the presence of the Lord. The feature of the Lord by which He is present everywhere is called the Paramatma. Atma means individual soul, and Paramatma are individual persons. No, no. And Paramatma means
Super soul.
individual super soul. Both Atma and Paramatma are individual persons. The difference between them, however, is that the Atma or soul is present only in one particular place, whereas the Paramatma is present everywhere. In this connection, the example of the sun is very nice. An individual person may be situated in one place, but the sun, even though a specific individual entity, is present over the head of every individual person. In the Bhagavad Gita, this is very nicely explained. Therefore, even though the qualities of all entities, including the Lord, are equal, the super soul is different from the individual soul by the quantity of expansion. The Lord or super soul can expand himself into millions of different forms, while the individual soul cannot do so. The super soul, being seated in everyone's heart, can witness everyone's activities, past, present, and future. In the Upanishads, the super soul is said to be sitting with the individual soul as a friend and witness. As a friend, he is always anxious to get the individual soul back home, back to Godhead. As a witness, he is the endower of all benedictions that result from the individual's actions. The super soul gives the individual soul all facility for achieving whatever he may desire, but he instructs his friend so that he may ultimately give up all other engagements and simply surrender unto God for perpetual bliss and eternal life full of knowledge. This is the last instruction of the Bhagavad Gita, the most authorized and widely read book on all forms of yoga. The last word of the Bhagavad Gita, as stated above, is the last word in the matter of perfecting the yoga system. It is further stated in the Bhagavad Gita that a person who is always absorbed in Krishna consciousness is a topmost yogi. What is this Krishna consciousness?
Hare
Teacher?
Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so
Hare
much, Mataji. Dhanvat pranams. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Muthumanikam Prabhuji, would you like to continue, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Madan.
Hare.
Just as the individual soul is present by his consciousness throughout the whole day, whole body, so the super soul or Paramatma is present throughout the whole creation by his super consciousness. This super consciousness cannot be imitated by the individual soul who has limited awareness. I can understand that what is going on within my limited body, but I cannot feel what is going on in another's body. I am present all over my body by my consciousness, but I am not present in any other's body by my consciousness. However, the super soul or Paramatma being present within everyone, situated everywhere, is conscious of every existence. The theory that the soul and the super soul are one is not acceptable because the individual soul's consciousness cannot act in super consciousness. The super consciousness can only be achieved by dovetailing individual consciousness with the super consciousness, and this dovetailing process is called surrender or Krishna consciousness. From the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, we learn very clearly that Arjuna in the beginning did not want to fight with his relatives, but after understanding the Bhagavad Gita, when he dovetailed his consciousness with the super consciousness of Krishna, his consciousness was Krishna consciousness. A person in full Krishna consciousness acts by the dictation of Krishna. And so Arjuna agreed to fight the battle of Kurukshetra. In the beginning of Krishna consciousness, that this dictation of the Lord is received through the transparent medium of the spiritual master. When one is sufficiently trained and acts with the submissive faith and love for Krishna under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master, the dovetailing process becomes more firm and accurate. At this stage, Krishna dictates from within. From without, the devotee is helped by the spiritual master, the bona fide representative of Krishna. And from within, the Lord helps the devotee as Chaitya Guru, being seated within the hearts of everyone. Simply to understand the God is seated in everyone's heart is not perfection. One has to acquainted with God from within and without, and thus act in Krishna consciousness. This is the highest perfectional stage for the human form of life and the topmost stage in all yoga system. For a perfect yogi, there are 8 kinds of super achievements. One can become smaller than an atom, one can become bigger than a mountain, one can become lighter than the air, one can become heavier than any metal, one can achieve any material effect he likes, that is, create a planet, for example. One can control others like the Lord can. One can freely travel anywhere within or beyond this universe. One can choose his own time and place of death and take rebirth wherever he may desire. But when one rises to the perfectional stage of receiving dictation from the Lord, one is above the stage of material achievements above mentioned. The breathing exercise of the yoga system, which is generally practiced, is just the beginning of the system. Meditation and the super soul is just a step forward. Achievement of wonderful material success is also only a step forward. But to attain direct contact with the super soul and to take the dictation from him is the highest perfectional stage. The breathing exercise and meditational practices of yoga are very difficult in this age. They were difficult even 5,000 years ago, or else Arjuna would not have rejected the proposal of Krishna. This age of Kali is called a fallen age. At the present moment, people in general are short living and very slow in understanding self realization or spiritual life. They are mostly unfortunate, and as such, if someone is a little bit interested in self realization, he is misguided by so many frauds. The only actual way to realization of the perfect stage of yoga is to follow the principles of Bhagavad Gita as they were practiced by the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the simplest and highest perfection of yoga practice. Lord Chaitanya practically demonstrated Krishna consciousness yoga simply by chanting the holy names of Krishna as they are mentioned in the Vedanta, the Srimad Bhagavatam, and many important Puranas. The largest number of Indians follow this yoga practice, and in the United States and other countries also it is gradually growing in many cities. It is very easy and practical for this age, especially for those who are serious about success in yoga. No other process can be successful in this age. The meditational process is in right earnest was possible in the golden age, Satya Yoga, because the people at the time lived for 100,000 years on the average. In the present age, however, if you want success in practical yoga, take to the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and feel for yourself how you are making progress. One should know for himself how much he is progressing in the yoga practice. In the Bhagavad Gita, this practice of Krishna consciousness is described as Rajavidya, the king of all erudition. Rajaguhyam, the most confidential system of spiritual realization. Pavitram, the purest of all that is pure. Susuham, very happily performed, and Avyayam, inexhaustible. Those who have taken to this most sublime Bhakti Yoga system, this practice of devotional service in transcendental love of Krishna, can testify to how they are very nicely enjoying its happy and easy execution. Yoga means controlling the senses, and Bhakti Yoga means purifying the senses. When the senses are purified, they are also automatically controlled. You cannot stop the activities of the senses by artificial means. But if you purify the senses, not only they are they kept back from rubbish engagement, but also they become positively engaged in transcendental service to the Lord. Krishna consciousness is not manufactured by us through mental speculation. It is prescribed in the Bhagavad Gita, which says that when we think in Krishna, chant in Krishna, live in Krishna, eat in Krishna, talk in Krishna, hope in Krishna, and sustain in Krishna, we return to Krishna without any doubt. And this is the substance of Krishna consciousness. The incarnation of love of God. Chaitanya
Hari
Mahaprabhu
Bol,
is
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Manikam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Okay. So we will stop with this today. It's been such a deep topic, actually, quite a lot for us to assimilate. But very, very beautifully and in simple words, Srila Prabhupada has explained. It's all Krishna at the end, right? Eat in Krishna, live in Krishna, chant in Krishna, right? So beautifully said. Love that verse actually. So he's given a simple solution for us. Just by chanting, we can purify our senses, right? So we will just focus on that. Please go through this and come for the class tomorrow. And next subtopic in chapter 5, we will continue tomorrow and we'll see how much we can complete. Thank you so much, everyone. Hare Krishna. Thank you for all your support. Hare Krishna. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्णा एवरीवन धन्यवाद प्रणाम थैंक यू सो मच
Hare